Welcome everyone, welcome to another episode of the Language Teaching Takeoff webinars, where we're going to explore how to make the most out of the powerful tools within the TeacherMatic Language Teaching Edition. My name is Alba, and I'm a Spanish philologist, and I have been working in the language education sector for the past 9 years. Now I am part of the Avaline team, where we focus on creating tools that really support teachers and make a difference in the classroom. I am thrilled to introduce our host for today, Pilar Capaul. In today's session, she will talk about a key topic for language teaching, how to create CFR levels aligned materials centered around reading, vocabulary, and grammar development. For this, she used TMA LTE generators, and she will showcase how you can do it too. And just a quick intro for her. Pilar is an LTE content creator and language teacher. She's also a digital ambassador for International House World Organization. We are very pleased to have her here once more for today. And brief things before we begin. Here are a few practical notes. We are welcome to submit your questions using the chat on Zoom. We will aim to respond to as many questions as possible at the end of the session. And also, please note that this webinar is being recorded. And the recording will be shared with you by email after the event. And then to the session, thank you once again for joining us. And Pilar will now take over to begin the session. Thank you, Pilar.
Thank you, Alba. And hi again, guys. Hope you're all doing well. So today we're going to be talking about how we can use TeacherMatic to create some teaching resources, right? We're going to be using 3 different generators: a reading comprehension generator, an open clause generator, and a word formation generator. And of course, if you have questions, feel free to share them in the chat box. So something super important. TeacherMatic is a trustworthy AI toolkit for teachers. And there is a language teaching edition, which we're going to be using today, designed for this sector. And there's over 50 AI generators. So you see that there's lots and lots of generators. So that there's lots of things that we can do with it. So let's begin. All right, we're going to create some reading comprehension activities. And as Salwa said, I think that nowadays we're all talking about the workup. I think it's the topic our students just can't stop talking about. So let's do something. Let's talk about the workup. I don't know, maybe you heard something about the hydration break. Some people love it, some people hate it. There's no in between. So I think this could be an interesting topic for a lesson, right? So I found this video on YouTube. It's a short video, right? So I'm going to use it, right, to generate some resources. And let's do the following. We can just hit here and write here, reading comprehension. This is the generator that I know I want to use because I use TeacherMatic all the time, and I know this is what I want to start with. But maybe you're new here and you want to browse the site, you want to see the generators, think about what resources you can create for your learners. So you can just hit here, right, where it says teaching. And if you click here, for example, reading, you're going to find a bunch of generators that you can use to create reading activities or materials that you can use to work on reading. So that's also a very nice option. All right, so I'm going to go back here because I already know what I want to do, right? So I'm going to use this generator. Right, there we go, reading comprehension. So, as I told you before, I'm going to be using a YouTube video, but there's lots of options. You can create a text from scratch if you want. You can upload a file. Maybe there's a text that you want to use. Maybe you already have it. You can paste a text. You can use things that you have already created using TeacherMatic. Maybe there's a website that you like that has a text that you want to use. So there's lots of options. Right, so I'm going to copy the link of this video. I'm going to paste it. All right, and then we can use the text as it is, right? The transcript of the text, or we can adapt it. I'm going to adapt it, right? Because I'm going to be using it with a group of B1 students, so I want to adapt it. And I also want to use past tenses, right? Because this is something that we've been working on, and I'd like to continue working on that. Number of questions, let's see. 8 is all right. And look at all the things that we can do with this generator. We can create some pre-reading tasks, right? Just to, introduce the topic maybe. I want a glossary as well because I want my students to be independent, and instead of asking me questions, I want them to go back to the glossary, check the meaning of a word, go back to the text. So that's something I want to use as well. Some true or false questions. All right, and some further activities, why not, right? So I'm going to click on generate, and remember the idea here is for you to try different things. You see we have lots of options, there are lots of things that we can do, that we can generate. So it's a matter of trying things out, seeing what your learners find interesting and useful and engaging. So you should definitely check it out for yourselves as well. And now in a couple of seconds, we're going to see the activities that we can use with our learners, right? All right. Let's see in the chat. Have you guys tried this generator already? Yeah? All right. So let's see what we have. So reading comprehension, right? We have these activities. I wanted some pre-task activities, right? Here are some important words to help you understand the text. This is very useful. We have the text, right? This is what we're going to be using. As you can see, this is the right topic. It is connected to the video that I wanted to use. Right, here we have this true or false activity. And then we also have this multiple choice activity here as well, right? We have the 8 options, right? We have everything that I wanted. We have the glossary here as well. And we have some suggested further activities, and of course the key, right? So there are different things that we can do here. For example, if you want to, you can refine the output, right? Why not? That's something that we can do. I'm happy with the text, I'm happy with the activities, but let's see. Increase the size of the font of the text, right? Leave the rest as it is, right? That's all I want to change. Why not? Because we're always thinking about refining the output when it comes to the level or the texts that we're using or the activities. But maybe there are other things that we want to change, modify. Why not? So we can give it a go, see how it goes, right? So here we have the text. All right, look at that. It's better. I like that. All right, cool. So remember, we're using AI, so we can ask for lots of different things and play around. Remember that we can export it as a PDF, as a Microsoft Word file. So I'm going to export it as a PDF, right? Because I like having PDFs everywhere. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to save the result as well, because I also want to have it here on TeacherMatic. So I'm going to create a new folder, reading, right? So I'm going to save it there. There we go. Wonderful. All right, so let's do the following. Now I want to create an open close activity for my learners. So I'm going to head here where it says grammar. Again, we can browse the site, see what we can do right here. So there we go, open close. All right, so we can tell TeacherMatic what topic we want to cover, or we can just click here and use the text and the reading activities that we have just generated. So I'm going to click here where it says use. All right, level B1. This is the same group, right? 8 questions, that's all right. Generate. That's it. That's all I have to do. I don't need to worry about writing a very detailed prompt or anything like that. It just took a couple of seconds. So look, here we have a very nice text, right? We have an example, we have the instructions as well, we have the key. So what I like about this is that we can use it in class with our learners, or we can say, guys, this is an activity I would like you to complete for homework. Why not? Right? They have very clear instructions, they have an example. So that is wonderful. And let's do the following. Once again, we can export it, right? We can share it with our students via Google Classroom. Why not? I'm going to save the PDF once again, or we can save the results, right? And I'm going to add it to the folder that I've just created as well. All right, there we go. Wonderful. And remember that maybe you want to focus on something else. Here we have words like to, from, there, it's. We can ask TeacherMatic to generate this very same activity and only remove prepositions or pronouns or nouns. Why not? Right? It's up to us, and we can refine the output. We can ask for different things, and we can play around with it. So there's lots of things that we can do. I'm happy with this result, so I'm going to move on, right? And there's one more thing that I want to do. I would like to work on word formation, right? So let's do the following. Look, here we have it, word formation. So I'm going to click here where it says use. So again, we can type in a topic that we want to cover with our learners, or we can use the results, right? We can use the output that we have already generated. So once again, we have this reading comprehension activity, the one that we generated today. So that's the one I'm going to use, right? Number of questions, 8 is all right, right? That's all I need. B1, that's the level of my students. And something important, you might notice that there's no A1, A2 option here. Remember, that has to do with what our students are able to do, right? At this level, they're going to know how to form words and derive new words from words that we provide them with. So, right, that's why we start from level B1. Right, and let's see, here we have different options. Once again, we can ask for an introductory text. I like that. I want to include that. A field for learners to write their name. Wonderful. And the answer key. Maybe I want to have it because, I don't know, I'm going to reuse this activity in the future and I want to make sure I have the key just in case. Or maybe I want to share it with students and they can do this as homework and this is extra practice, right? To us. So I'm going to click where it says generate. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds and there we go, right? We have everything we need. So let's see, here we have a brief introduction and here we have the activity, right? Here we have, right, as you can see, this is connected to the text, right? FIFA introduced, short water breaks. All right, wonderful. But maybe I want something else, right? And I don't really know what I want. You know, sometimes that happens. We're tired, we're planning, we have lots of things to do. So let's click where it says regenerate. Why not? That's also an option. I want something different. All right, let's regenerate the output and let's see what we have now. So again, this is the right topic, right? This is connected to the video that I wanted to use. Here we have the sentence that students have to complete. We have a word, right, that students will have to modify somehow so that it fits the sentence. So there we go. And here we have the answer key, right? There we go. There. So advertisers have fewer, right? And we can check opportunities to show their adverbs. Wonderful. And once again, why not? Increase the size of the font. Leave the rest as it is. Don't change anything else. That's it. So we're going to give it a go, see how it goes. Oh, look at that. That looks nice, right? Right. So once again, I'm going to export it as a PDF, right? And by the way, let's check out the PDFs, right? So look, looks wonderful. Here I have my reading comprehension activity. I have the text that I'm going to be using, right? The true or false activity that I wanted. This multiple choice activity as well. The glossary, some suggested further activities, and of course the key, right? Let's see, what else do we have? We have the open clause. Here it is. Wonderful. And the word formation activity. There we go. That's very nice, right? So I'm also going to save the result here. So let's see, this is the folder that I've just created. There we go. Wonderful. So I am ready to teach my lesson, right? It took just some minutes. I didn't have to type in very detailed prompts or anything. I was able to use the video that I wanted to use. This is the right level for my learners. I was able to personalize the output, to refine it, to modify it. And look at this. If you take a look at this part, you'll see this option, saved results. So I'm going to click here, right? And here I'll be able to find all the things that I've generated, right? And that I've saved, all right? So this is the folder that I created today, right? So look at this. We have the word formation activity, the open close activity, right? Maybe you create something and you cannot find it. No problem. Just go to the unfolded folder and you're going to find everything you've created here, right? So you can move things around, right? I'm going to look, move it to this folder, reading. There we go. Takes a second. So there we go. This is my reading folder. So now I have the reading comprehension activities, the word formation activity, and the open close activity. Now I have everything I need. And again, I can export everything, right? I can move things around. Maybe I decide to use it with a different group, or I don't know, I want to do something else with this file. Well, I can move it around. And one of my favorite parts, I can share it with a colleague, another teacher, right? Hey, I generated something that was really useful, that my learners really enjoyed. Give it a go, try it, use it. So I can share it with my colleagues as well, right? So that's wonderful. And here where it says show result, you're going to be able to take a look at what you've generated, right? There we go. And we have everything that we created right here. Right. Wonderful. So that's it. It took a couple of minutes. I already have a very nice lesson, a lesson on a topic that I know my students are going to enjoy talking about. So there we go. And it only took a couple of minutes. So, all right, what do you guys think? Let's see. Did you like it? It looks interesting. Yeah, for sure.
It was amazing, Pilar. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Also, we would like to share some links with you. So thank you all for joining us. If you'd like to discover more, however, we have the landing page that we're going to share with you in the chat. So if you want to have more information about the TeacherMatic Language Teaching Edition and how it can help your institution save time, enhance teaching quality, and boost learner engagement, you can find it there. And also, if you are ready to explore it further, we'd love to show you what it can do for your team. So you can also complete the demo request form using the second link I am going to share right now here in the chat. And feel free to open it and request this demo, and we'll be in touch to arrange this personalized walkthrough session. And as well, I would like to share with you all the next episode for the webinar series on Thursday, 17th of September. It will be hosted by Nick Peachy, and the topic will be disclosed a bit further on. We'll keep you posted on that, but also you can already sign in for that. And Pilar is showing you with a QR code, so feel free to scan it, or you can also click on the last link I shared with you all. So we're going to wrap it up here, and I hope to see you all in the 17th of September after the summer break with more TeacherMatic ideas and generators. Thank you, Pilar. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Alba. See you
Bye.
later. Thank you, guys.